let's go, let's go.
Throughout different points of the year, theme parks like Six Flags will put on seasonal events that take place for a limited time during that year. For example, seasonal events like Fright Fest, Holiday in the Park, or even Spring Break. But for Six Flags Over Texas, located in Arlington, Texas, they're currently doing a special limited event for April, that being the Viva La Fiesta event. And if you've never heard of it, never been, and is thinking on visiting the park this year, especially in the season of April, this video will make it a lot easier to know everything you need to know about the Viva La Fiesta event at Six Flags Over Texas. But before we get started, if you're new here, welcome to the channel for all those thrill seekers. On JB Thrills, make all sorts of content related to theme parks and thrill rides, no matter where they're located. And if you're specifically a Texas enthusiast, this is your #1 source on all Texas theme parks. So if you're interested, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to have the notification bell to know when new videos come out on my channel. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. So like I said before, theme parks have seasonal events, and for Over Texas, we're currently in the season of April, bringing about Viva La Fiesta. And not many people know about this event, so to make it easier for your trip plans of April and May, we'll be covering what this event offers, including shows, food, and special attractions only limited for this event. So to make it easy and because of Six Flags, here's the top 6 things you need to know about Viva La Fiesta at Six Flags Over Texas. Starting with entertainment, our first show takes place at the main entrance, right at the Silver Star Carousel stage, which is the return of Las Estrellas de Tejas, translating to the Stars of Texas, and they are stars indeed. Essentially, the show is about traditional dancing and shows you the music and culture of Latin America. With amazing costuming and amazing performances by the stars, it sure is something you don't want to miss, and it's really cool to see firsthand. The great thing about this show is that it's very frequent, and you have many times to check it out. The very first show starts at 2:15 and continues with 15-minute intervals until 4 o'clock where they take a break. After their break, the performers hit the stage again at 5 o'clock and continue until 5:45 for their last act. The other great thing about this show is that it really enhances the atmosphere for the event, and you're able to see it really often. So in case you're out there riding New Texas Giant, for example, you have lots of time to check it out until the last act at 5:45. With that said, if you're going to be visiting over Texas during the Viva La Fiesta event, this is a show you can't miss. For number 2, this is all for those live music lovers, especially if you love instruments. If you visit the Mexico Gazebo right in front of El Sombrero, you have live performances from Mariachi Colina, offering you a live experience of traditional mariachi bands, and again ups the vibe for the event. Kind of like our first show, they perform in intervals, but instead it's for 30-minute intervals. The very first show starts at 2 o'clock and continues all the way till 5:30, with 30-minute breaks in between. So again, lots of time to check out this band, and let me tell you, this is not easy. It requires lots of talent, and as a trumpet player myself, hearing the trumpet players hit these high notes is absolutely insane, and it's worth 30 minutes of your time. And if you just so happen to be riding El Sombrero nearby, it adds for an amazing soundtrack of the attraction as well. So while walking to the Mexico and Spain section, make sure to stop and take a listen to the amazing Mariachi Colima. For the entertainment, it's still not over. If you're walking towards New Texas Giant or Runaway Mountain, you'll most likely encounter the Texas Courthouse stage, right in front of the Crazy Horse Saloon. This is where DJ Aiden Brasher will be putting out some absolute bops and tunes all relating to Latin America culture. This one isn't necessarily a show, but if you're going with some friends, you can share a meal there and listen to the tunes, or just in general have fun and dance there. It's a more casual performance, but it's still something to check out if you're going to walk over to that area. The music starts playing at 2:30, it doesn't stop till 6 p.m, so be sure to take a listen and enjoy the vibes. Our next thing for Viva La Fiesta is actually an attraction that'll be open for a limited time during the event, and that is KAS Magnetica. If you've never heard of KAS Magnetica, it's a pretty unique attraction you can only experience here at Six Flags Over Texas. Essentially, it's a unique fun house, themed to a magical house where up is down and down is up. Gravity gets weird at the casa. Essentially, you'll walk in with your group, and the residents of the casa will explain what's going on with this mysterious house, and then lead you towards the jungle, through a cave, and right into the house itself, where you'll see some weird illusions, lose your balance, and get a really unique experience you can only have here at Six Flags Over Texas. It's a really trippy experience, and super fun to do with friends, not to mention it's only open for a limited time during the duration of this event, so if you're there, you have to definitely check it out. The attraction opens up during the last 4 hours of the park being open, so definitely keep that in mind when visiting the park. Not to mention, this attraction is pretty historic, as it was an opening day attraction at Over Texas and opened with the park back in 1961. So for it to still be open and operational at this day is such a rare credit, and it's something you don't want to miss. So definitely check out KAS Magnetica at Viva La Fiesta. Now with the event, it's self-explanatory that it's a celebration, and celebrations mean decorations. So if you want to get your full experience at Viva La Fiesta, the place to be is the Mexico and Spain section of the park. as it's fully decked out with all Mexican decoration and has some unique Easter eggs to check out while you're there. And as for the attractions, the Mexico and Spain area actually has the most diverse and unique attractions in the park. So here's a quick rundown on all the rides in this area. Starting off with El Sombrero. The fly ride itself is pretty basic and can be seen in many different parks, but it has some really unique theming as you're actually sitting on a Mexican hat and spinning around backwards. It actually offers some airtime and it's super fun to do with family and friends. Now if you're into the classics, we have the typical teacup attraction, but here at Over Texas, these teacups are decked out. Themed after Mexican tazas, the teacups have these really intricate designs and honestly make it look so pretty. Again, with family and friends, this is the attraction to do. And it's not necessarily tame, because if you get a good group of friends, you can make this thing spin really fast. Next to that, we have El Conquistador, a swinging ship attraction that again is very intricately themed after a Spanish conquistador ship. And if you sit last row, you're guaranteed to be flying out of your seat. To the right of that is a typical Larson loop, but to a grander scale. We have El Diablo. El Diablo is different than most Larson loops, as it's the biggest version, and for some reason goes really slow, allowing for some insane hang time, where the train will actually stop completely while you're upside down. So if you have a fear of going upside down, this might not be the attraction for you, but for those thrill seekers, go ahead. Our main attraction for the land is La Vibra, one of two unique and rare intimate bobsled coasters, where there's no track, and you're essentially sliding down the whole way. With it being so rare, it's a must-do at Over Texas, and the little kids really love it, especially with those who just crossed the high limit to do bigger attractions. It's not a theme park without a log ride, and in the Mexico and Spain area, we have El Aserradero, the world's very first log flume, way before any of the greats that you know like Splash Mountain and etc. Six Flags Over Texas did it first. And actually Flume 1, the original log flume, is currently open, and it's honestly a rare sight. The attraction has two flumes, Flume 1 and Flume 2. Flume 2 being the most recent one, and Flume 1 being the original we talked about. And with it currently being open, it's definitely a rare credit, and I promise you don't get soaked. It's just a tiny little splash, it's more refreshing than getting wet, and it's a great thing to do with the family. And with that, those are all the attractions in the Mexico and Spain area, and like I said, they're all pretty unique in their own way. Plus, it's the center of the party for Viva La Fiesta. Last but not least, we have special dining options for Viva La Fiesta. It's not a celebration unless you bring the food, and Latin American food is honestly one of the best. For a limited time of the event only, you get to try unique items like a churro funnel cake, which let me tell you is something you don't want to miss. And if you buy any beverage at Viva La Fiesta, you'll get a super rare souvenir cup that has really cool decorations and the title of the event. It's an easy way to pick up a souvenir and get a super rare drink there. As for the food options itself, they have some really good ones like quesadillas, tacos, and unique offerings that'll only happen during the duration of Viva La Fiesta. Not to mention they have horchata, which I won't even explain. You just need to try it and trust me, it's really good. All these food options will be specifically offered in the Mexico and Spain area. So if you're feeling hungry for some specific Viva La Fiesta cuisine, then take a stop in the Mexico and Spain area, listen to the music, and dine on some amazing options. And with that, those are your top 6 things you need to know about the Viva La Fiesta event at Six Flags Over Texas. Honestly, it's really great that Six Flags is honoring Latin America culture, and it seriously ups the atmosphere at the park, and brings more to do, besides their already amazing attractions the park already has. This event will last from April 6th to May 5th, so for the rest of April, and a little bit of May, I would definitely recommend checking out Over Texas and experiencing this event, especially getting a rare credit on KAS Magnetica, as it's one of my personal favorite attractions in the park. If you've been to the event and I missed something to cover, or you have a favorite thing from the event, comment down below. And for more videos like this, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Anyway, without further ado, thank you for watching. This is JB Thrills signing out.